Welcome my dear students. Today we will talk about tropism in plants. We have three types of tropism in plant according to the type of effect that affects the plant. Number one, we have phototropism. So when talking about phototropism, so the effect or the stimulator is light. Number two, geotropism. Geotropism means that the effect is gravity. Number three, hydrotropism, and this means that the effect is water. The tropism depend on the auxins. The auxins is plant hormones that affect the growth of plant cells. Let's talk about the first type of tropism, that's called phototropism. We know that the plant consists of two main parts, that is shoot system and root system. Root system that is found below the earth's surface and it consists of roots, while shoot system, this is the upper part above earth's surface, and it consists of a stem and leaves. So this is shoot system and this is root system. And in many cases that we find it around us in the environment, that all stems grow upward vertically towards the sun or against gravity, because leaves need sunlight to grow and make photosynthesis process. And we also know that the plant is affected by sunlight from all direction, because sun rises from east, then sun goes to west. So the two sides of the plant is affected by light with equal percentage during the daytime. And also we have to know that the final tip of the stem is called coleoptile. This part is called coleoptile, and coleoptile is a responsible part of stem to produce a type of hormones, plant hormones called auxins. And these auxins is stimulating substance that affect the growth of plant cells. So we see that the plant stem grow vertically without any bending to any sides, because the auxins is equal as both sides of the plant, 50% for the left and right sides. The question is, why the auxins in normal state is equal on the both sides of the plant stem, 50-50, because the plant affected to sunlight with equal amount on both sides. As we say that the sun came from east and go to west, so the both sides, left side and right side, affected to sunlight with equal amount. So as a response of the plant, it make auxins with equal amount on the both sides. And we said that the auxins help in growth. So this side will grow with the same percent as the other side. So the plant grow vertically without bending. But we are about to talk about now is Atropism. Atropism means bending, that the stem will not go vertically, no, it will bend. So if we bring a plant and we expose the plant to light from one side, if the plant exposed to sunlight from one side, just one side, so what will happen to the stem and root? So if this is the beginning of the experiment, after a time, maybe days, this will be the shape of plant. So if the plant is exposed to light from one side, just one side, so the stem will bend towards the light, and we will say that the stem is positive phototropism. The stem is positive phototropism means that the stem bend towards the light, as we know that the stem need light to make photosynthesis as it carry leaves, while root will bend against the light, and we called it negative phototropism. Good. So what is the reason for this bending? Why the stem bend towards the light and the root bend against the light? And what is the main reason for bending at all? We said in the last page that the plant make hormones called auxins, and auxins at usually its concentration is equal on the both sides of the plant, especially we're talking about the stem. But when we expose the plant to light from one side, the auxins escape from light. At the beginning of the experiment, the auxins was 50-50, but after exposing the plant to light from one side, auxins, not all auxins, but some auxins will escape. Most auxins will escape from light. So the dark side, this is called the dark side, and this is called the lighted side. The dark side will contain more auxins, about 65, while the light side will contain less auxins, about 35. Okay, this is in stem and also at root. So auxins escape from light. Good. We said that auxins is or are hormones that affect the growth of the plant, but the effect of auxins in stem is inversely to root. What does it mean? Now we said that auxins escape from light, and the dark side of stem or root have more auxins, about 65. Auxins with high concentration in stem cause elongation of cells. Elongation means enlarging or increasing in size, while 35% of oxygen in stem will cause inhibition. Inhibition means decrease in size. So the dark side will be bigger than the lighted side. So the stem will bend toward the smallest part or the smallest side. So the stem will bend towards the light. So we called it positive phototropism. Okay. Why root bend against light? Also that the percentage of oxygen is the same concentration in stem. We have 65% of oxygen in the dark side and 35% of oxygen in the light side. So why the root bend against light? Good. The question simply is that the effect of oxygen in root is opposite to the effect of oxygen in the stem. We said that 65% of oxygen in stem causing elongation, increasing in size, while in root 65% of oxygen will cause inhibition. Inhibition means decreasing in size. And we said also that 35 in stem causing inhibition, so 35 in root will cause elongation. So root escape from light, bend against light. So we called it negative phototropism. This is the part about phototropism. Let's move to the second part, Geotropism. In normal cases, and in all cases, the stem is growing vertically against gravity, go upward. So we will say that stem is negative geotropism. Why we said negative and positive? It's according to the direction of bending. If the part of plant bend towards the stimulant or the effector, we call it positive. But when the part of plant bend against the effector or the stimulant, it's called negative. So here stem is moving against gravity, so it is negative, while root moves towards gravity, so it's called positive geotropism. Good. What is the reason for this movement? If we have a seed, for example, pea plant or bean, when the seed germinate, it gives something like small root and small stem, like this. So we know that this is the stem because it's go against gravity, and this is the root because it's going towards the gravity. So why the stems goes against gravity and the root goes towards the gravity? The reason also is oxygen. We know that the tip part or the final part of stem or the final part of root is called calyptile, and we said that calyptile is responsible for secreting auxins. Auxins are hormones. Good. In this case, auxins will move towards gravity, pulling everything towards it, We said in the last example that oxygens escape from light, but here oxygens escape towards gravity. So the lower part of a stem contains 65% of oxygens, while the upper part containing 35. Also in root, lower part 65, upper part 35. Good. And we said that the more oxygens in a stem causing elongation, while less oxygens causing inhibition. So the stem bend towards the least one, so bend upward, while in root we said that more oxygens causing inhibition, less oxygens causing elongation, so the root goes downward to the least, so root goes towards the gravity, and it is positive. Finally, hydrotropism. This is effect of water. Also, usually we see that stem goes against water found in soil. Stem needs water, but stem take water from root. So stem is a negative hydrotropism, or we can say that it is not affected with water, while root always goes towards water in soil, so it is a positive hydrotropism. Good. And usually when we put water to soil, we put water in both sides, usually in equal amount. What does that mean? What do I mean? That percentage of water in soil is equal on both sides. In left side it is water, usually equal to the water in right side. So the root in this case goes vertically downward. Why? Because the percentage of oxygen will be 50-50. We said before, when the stimulant is equal, affecting the both sides of the plant, root or stem, so oxygens will be equal in concentration, 50-50. Light from right and light from left, so oxygens will be 50-50. Water from right and water from left, so oxygens will be 50-50. Good. So in this case, root goes vertically downward. So what happens if we have a root? This is a stem, and this is the root, and we always putting water on one side in soil. There is water in this side, but there is no water in the other side. So what will happen? What happened by time that the root will move towards water. Always root goes towards water. So what is the reason? And what happened to the concentrations of oxygens? Here in case of water, oxygens move towards water. So in the side of water, concentration of oxygens will be 65, while the other side with no water or less water, concentration of oxygen will be 35. And we said that the side with less oxygens in root causing elongation, and the side with more oxygen causing inhibition. So the root bend towards water. So we said that root is a positive hydrotropism. I hope everything is clear and simple. And if anyone have a question, you can write it in comment. Thanks for watching, and see you next video in